This video will show you how to use a special application on your TI-83-84 calculator that will help you calculate finance problems. I understand that the formulas can be very difficult, so this is actually a tool you can use to make this a little bit easier. Those of you who do not have the TI-83 or 84 calculator, there is actually lots of solvers on the computer, on the internet, you can search for. I'm going to actually show you in another video how to use one that I have found. So let's go ahead and talk about how to do the calculator. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to go and hit the apps button. The apps button is in the row that says math, apps, program, VARs, and clear. So you're going to just click on that apps button. There are lots of applications on the calculator. We want to do finance. So the very first one says finance, so just hit enter to go into finance. And then TVM Solver is what we're going to use. TVM stands for time, value, money. Anytime you're dealing with finances, that's usually what you're going to go into. So we're going to go into that one. So hit enter. And then this has all the things we're going to type in. N is the number of compounding periods you happen to have. So it's going to be your time times your compounding periods. I percentage your annual percentage rate. So that's R in the book. This N is actually N times T in the book. PV stands for present value. PMT stands for payment. FV stands for future value. P/Y stands for payments per year. And C/Y stands for compounding periods per year. Don't worry about this payment and beginning. There are some special annuities that actually are paid at the end. At the beginning. We're not going to be doing those in this class, so you can just ignore that one. Just always leave it at the end. So what we're going to do first is type in our N. Let's say we have a problem where you're going to invest $10,000 in an account that pays 6.3% APR. We'd like to find the future value after 15 years if the interest is compounded quarterly. So we are going to do it quarterly, and again, this big capital N is your number of compounding periods in a year times your time. So we have 4 compounding periods in a year, but we're going to do it for 15 years. So we're going to have 4 times 15, and you actually can have the calculator just type 4 times 15, and it will calculate that for you and give you that it's 60. If you didn't know it was 60, it's much better just type in the 4 times 15, because it'll figure it out for you. The I% is your annual percentage rate. And it is put as a percentage. So we had 6.3% annual percentage rate. So I'm typing that, instead of typing it as 0.063, I'm going to type it as just 6.3. PV is what your present value is. We're going to invest $10,000. Now, one of the things that we are going to do is that money is going away from us because we're going to put that into an account. It's no longer ours to play with. So we're actually going to make it negative 10,000. It goes away from us. Anything that goes away from us is negative. So we're going to do negative 10,000. Make sure you use the negative sign and not the subtraction sign. So it is negative 10,000 you want to use. We are not making any payments, so we're going to leave that at 0. The future value is what we want to find. So we'll come back to that in a second. And then payments per year. We're not making any payments per year, but we are doing compounding per year. So you do want both of those to say 4 because we're doing it quarterly. There are 4 compounding periods in a year. So change that to 4, and you'll see automatically that once you change payments per year to 4, compounding per year also gets changed to 4. So again, we want to find the future value. So we're going to arrow up to future value, put our cursor right next to future value, and I want to solve for that value. If you look at your enter button, it actually says in green, at least mine's green, yours might be a different color, it says solve. If I notice this big green button that says alpha is also green. So if I push this button here, it'll give me any of the green things that are above the keys. So if I hit the big green button, alpha button, and then hit solve, it will solve for that value. Now yours may not be green, yours might be a different color, but it's basically the same idea. It's whatever the button says alpha is the one you want to hit to get there. And notice when I did that, it put a little box next to this for future value, and now tells me that it's $25,539.35. If we use the formula, we get the exact same answer, but that was a little bit easier to do. Now, if you want to change this to, let's say, do monthly, then I need to change my payments per year to 12 and my compounding per year to 12. But I also need to change my N, because my N was before 15 times 4. Now we need to be 15 times 12. So I can come up to the top and type in 15 times 12, hit enter, and it gives me the value. Again, I want to find the future value. So I'm going to come back down to future value, hit the big alpha button and the enter button, and it'll come up and tell you what that value is. It comes up with $25,664.61. This does not do continuously, so you won't be able to do continuous compounding with this TVM solver, but you can do everything else. So let's do another problem. Let's say instead I want to know how long it will take the money to grow to a certain value. So let's say I have $5,000 we're going to invest at 5% interest compounded daily. How long would it take to grow to 9,000? So I'm going to have compounded daily, and there's 365 days in a year, so I'll change that to 365. My payments per year and my compounding per year need to be 365. I want my future value to be 9,000. And I want my present value, again, present value is going away from me, so I want that to be 5,000. And my interest rate is 5%, so again, I'll put that in as 5%. I have no payments yet. And so what I want to know is how long. So that's going to be how many compounding periods I'm going to have. So if I come up here to N, I'm sitting now, I want to know what N is. I'm going to sit on it, I'll hit the alpha button and the enter button, and it'll calculate that value for me. Now I would need to actually go back to my main screen and find out what 429.13654 is divided by 365, because this number was my time times 365. So the only thing that's a little bit different here is you would now have to go calculate and see what that would be, well, how many years it was by dividing by 365. So let's try something. I've never tried this. Let's say if we actually do divide by 365. See if it gives us what that answer would be. And it does. It tells us it's 11.8 years. So you can do that. You can actually don't have to write it down. You can actually just come back up here, type in your N value, divide that value by 365, and you get your answer. You can solve for anything you want. So if you want to know what your interest rate is, let's say you are investing money and you want to find the APY for an account with, let's say or you want to find your APR with a certain amount. So let's say I want to know what my interest rate would be. Let's say I'm going to do it for 10 years. So 10 times 4, let's say, and I want to know how long it's going to take doing 4 compounding periods a year. So change that to 4. And then I want everything else the same just to make life easier. And I hit alpha on the I%. I can hit alpha solve, and it'll tell me what percentage that is. All right, now the other thing we can do is we have annuities. So annuities involve payments. So let's say I have an annuity that has a payment of $50, and I'm going to do it for 5 years, and I'm going to do monthly payments. So I'm going to do monthly payments for 5 years. So 5 times 12 would be my N, how many compounding periods I have. Let's say my interest rate is 4.5%. So here I'll type in the 4.5. I don't have any money in there at the moment, so I'm going to go ahead and say my present value is 0. I'm just starting to put money away. I'm going to put away $50 a month. So again, since the money is going away from me, it's a negative 50. And we're going to do it for 12 months is our compounding periods and our payments per year. And I want to know what my future value will be on this annuity. So I come up to, again, the alpha button and the enter button as long as I'm on future value, and it will tell me what my future value will be of that $50. $3,357.28. So I can do annuities that way. If I want to do, I can solve for anything if I want to find out what my payment would be. So let's say I want my future value to be $35,000, let's just say. So I'm going to say my future value is $35,000. I'm going to do 4 payments a year. So I'm going to do compounding and payments is 4. And I'm going to get an interest rate of 4%. And let's say I have 5 years I'm doing this. So I'm going to do 5 times 12. And this time I'd like to know what my payment will be. So I can come down to the word payment, sit next to it, hit the big alpha button and the enter button, and it'll tell me that my payment is $428 and 56 cents. So that looks like I might have something wrong there because I don't think that was the same answer I got before. So let's just see. 35,000 and 4% compounding 4 payments per 4, and I'm doing it 4 times. Oh, I was doing it 4 times 5 years. I don't know why I did 4 times 5 times 12. It's 5 times 4. So 5 times 4. So it's 20. So then my payment, if I come down, hit second alpha, and I get that I got $1,589.54. So again, same answer I would have gotten if I used the formula. Just make sure you type everything in correctly. And you can find anything you want here. If you want to find the time again, you can find time. Much easier to find here than using logs and such. We can also do loans. So you can also do loans on this. So the loans, let's say I'm going to do a 30-year loan. And we do 30 years times 12, because usually it's monthly payments. And let's say my interest rate is 4.25%. So I type in 4.25, my interest rate. My present value is how much my loan is going to be for. So my loan is for $320,000. Oops, and I forgot that should actually be negative 320,000. Actually, no, this is loan, so it's positive because that money comes to you. And I want my payments per year to be 12 and my compounding times per year to be also 12. But my future value on a loan, you hoping to pay that loan off at the end of it, so it should be 0 for your future value. And then we can go up if we want to find our payment. So if you stick on the word payment and hit the big alpha button and the enter button, you'll get the solve and you'll find out what your monthly payment is. So it's $1,574.21. You can do the same thing if you want to change it to, let's say, 15-year mortgage. Then you just come up here to 15 times 12. Let's say your interest rate on a 15-year loan is only 3.8%, so you can change that to 3.8. Your present value hasn't changed, nothing else has changed, so come down to payment, hit the alpha button and the solve, and it'll tell you that your payment is $2,335.06. And so you can do all loan calculations with this also. So that's how to use this TVM solver that's in the apps menu.